Live. Here we go over here as well. Because right now we need two different ways to go live. Did you all see that Instagram? It's like an Instagram thing with, I don't know, something on socials where someone had like 100 phones to go live. It was crazy. It was crazy town. All right, open up the chat. All right. There we go. I love talking to you, so please communicate with me. Let's talk to me, give me comments. I love to have a conversation. We're live on Instagram, we're live on YouTube. Today's conversation is about rejection is necessary. Ooh, what does that mean? No one likes being rejected. Oh, wait, do I have glasses here and here? That's funny. That's good. No one likes being rejected. What does that mean? But also, everything isn't supposed to be like easy or everything isn't meant to come easy to you. Everything doesn't come easy to everybody. I think that our skills and our talents and our propensities lead us into our purpose in life and our careers in life. And rejection is really necessary. Let's talk about why. All right. Got some different concepts here. And as I said, please comment, share with me, tell me your stories, ask me questions. As a singer, as a musician, as a songwriter, you are going to be told no. You're going to be told, no, we don't want you in this role. No, you didn't get this job. No, we don't love the album, go back to work. No, you're not getting signed. No, I'm not taking you on as a manager. You're going to be told no so many times. And it's not all bad news, you know? No from a situation can mean dodging a bullet. No in a situation could mean, hey, the world just took you out of harm's way. You just don't know it, right? You think, oh, those people are the best. I want to work with them. And maybe they're not, you know? So when you get that no, trust it. Sometimes that no is just directing you where you're going to be going and you don't know how awesome it is yet. So patience to see. There was a really phenomenal film I remember from, I believe it was an Almodovar film. May have been Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. And there's this opening sequence. And there's a kid on a bus, a young guy on a bus. And he's like nervous and stressed and excited. He's got all this, adrenaline and energy. And then there's a woman in a nice apartment. Seems appealing, little bougie. But at one point she opens a drawer and there's a gun. And what I remember, now again, I saw this scene, I was probably a teenager when I saw it. Maybe I was in my 20s. Oh, you watched it. Profish Gaming, I appreciate that you like the channel. Awesome. Okay, so this film, Almodovar, split screen. This guy having one experience of excitement. He gets on a payphone. He calls the girl. She answers the phone. Is this so-and-so? No. She hangs up. And he's like, wait, but this is the woman. He calls back. And again, she opens a drawer and you see a gun. And I think you see some drugs. No drugs. She doesn't have the drugs. That's the problem. And then, and then he calls back and he says, hey, do you remember me? We got together the other night. And he's talking about like romantic, like, I really like you. You liked me. I want to see you again. And you're seeing flashbacks of them having had like a really like a hookup in a club. And she's like, she just says to him, no. And he's devastated. She's picking up the phone, waiting for a dealer to come deliver her drugs. There's a gun in the drawer. He's like romanticized this relationship. And she says, no. He's devastated. And you in the audience is going, he just dodged a bullet. That taught me that lesson. no can mean you dodged a bullet. Just trust it. Trust the world is looking out for you. Trust that it's not the right time. Even if it's the thing you really want, it could just be not at this moment, not with those people, not at this time. No is not a forever necessarily in your career, but it is a movement of your path in another direction. Maybe it's telling you you need to do something, you need to learn something, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. But trust the no's. Don't just fight against them. And for everything I say, you have to recognize your reaction to the world and your circumstances, because again, we could say no can really get you to overcome a challenge and be the motivation to get you to your goals, right? I'm not taking no for an answer. I am going to succeed. That personal motivation gets you to where you want to go without a doubt. So in that way, you're like, I'm not letting this no shut me down. That's a very good thing. At the same time, you've got to trust your instincts, and you've got to trust the world too, that like, make sure you're just not hitting a brick wall. When you get no, your no should get you to move around something to get forward motion again. But if you're not getting forward motion again, you're just banging against a brick wall. I spent a lot of my life banging against a brick wall in my youth. You don't get where you want. Nothing requires that much force. It takes effort and energy for things to get easier. Hear that again. It takes effort and energy, passion and grit for things to actually get easier. That's vocal technique as well. It takes energy for the voice to function well and get easier and feel like, oh, this just feels so easy, like I'm not doing anything. It takes effort for that experience to happen. It takes effort for you to go from an imagination and an idea and a vision into the physical world. Taking action takes energy. You've got to break through the barrier of the physical world, but not force. Ease, flow. If it's not flowing, adjust. If it's not flowing, change something. Listen to the no's and keep tweaking. Because what you want won't always work out, but you will learn and you will grow if you make adjustments. You will learn and you will grow if you pivot, you tweak, you polish, you zhuzh. If everything was easy, you would not improve. You literally wouldn't grow. Oh, playing golf. Wow, I'm an expert at this right off the bat. So easy. Where's the growth? Also, you get really bored. We need challenges. I've heard it said that challenges are angels in disguise rooting for you to beat them and get over, to move past them. It can be so hard when we're in the challenge and it's just frustrating. That can be hard to embrace that idea of like, really? This is that? Like, what? Change his mind. Okay, this is that? Like, yes. But like, if you can, in the moment of a challenge, be like, ooh, this is a puzzle. I get to be curious. Ooh, this is a hurdle I get to overcome. I get to be challenged. Literally, that's how your confidence comes. Your confidence grows, not because everything's easy and you're flowing. You have no confidence if there's never a hurdle or challenge. Your confidence comes because you're like, oh, I overcame that. Strengthened myself. I overcame that. Ooh, I put in the work and the sweat. I know what it took me to get here. I feel good about myself. I have the stamina. Like, your confidence comes from getting a no and figuring it out and making an adjustment and finding it out and doing the work. Don't be mad at the no's. Listen to them. Learn from mistakes. Learn from rejection. And then encourage yourself to be better. Challenge yourself to be better. I lost every job I ever had as a background singer. I think there were 3 of them. The first one, I was about 16, my first gig. And I got fired because I wasn't fast at harmonies. I wasn't picking things up quickly. I'd spent most of my life singing as a soloist, most of my life. Yeah, I mean, I was in musical theater, but I often had the lead. And as a soprano, I was singing melody. So I wasn't harmonizing all the time. That wasn't my a learned skill set at all. I was a soloist a lot of the time. I did choir, but I was, again, as a soprano, singing melody. It just wasn't my greatest strength. So first gig, got fired, asked if I could stay on the job for free. I'd like to learn. They said yes. I showed up. I was super professional. I did my homework. I was at every rehearsal. And at the end of that rehearsal process, there was a show, and then there was a 3-month tour. At the end of that first show, I was offered the tour. I took the no. I said, I'm not going to let this rejection stop me. I'm going to learn from it and grow. And I did. I got offered the gig, but I got fired from it first. Second gig was for the Bette Midler tour. The director cried when he fired me and said, I'm really sorry. This is going to be like a blink in the eye of your career. Like, you're wonderful. And it was like a year and a half later that I found out that there had been I'll just say some weird stuff that like caused me to be fired. It wasn't that I was failing at the job, but it was, in my experience, it was a no, not this gig, not for you. So that was 2 background vocal gigs. And there was a third one that I actually can't even remember. So ultimately what I got was, Wendy, the world is telling you your path in life, your purpose is not to be a background singer. There are incredible people who do that gig. I mean, I've hired them. It's an incredible skill set. They are beasts, incredible. Wendy Moten, Tabitha Fair, Lisa Fisher. Like, there are so many people who do this incredible work. Love. But for me, and at that point I was like 25 years old, and I was like between 16 and 25. I got 3 gigs that were like no's. And so I was like, Wendy, like, stop going for that gig. It's not your path. The world hit me with a huge no, and a painful no, in musical theater. When I was 16, I made the final cut for the final audition for Broadway's the original Broadway cast of Les Miserables as Eponine. Favorite musical, loved the role, loved the part, wanted it. I made it to the final cut. I was 16 and a half. At the same time, I made the final cut for Carrie in the West End with Debbie Allen. Now, at 16, I loved musical theater. I wanted to be in musical theater. Absolutely loved it. And for Carrie, I was told by some primary people on the industry side of it, they really wanted me for the role. They cast Barbara Cook, who was a big Broadway name, as Carrie's mom. And so contractually, they had to go with the British Carrie. So the rule was, for every American, one Brit, American Brit, back and forth. So they cast Barbara Cook. So the Carrie went to the British actor. I was devastated, of course, like, musical theater. I wanted to do musical theater. It was amazing. The West End, 16 and a half. So for me, that no was painful, right? And then I think it was the same month, the Les Mis thing happened, and I was told I couldn't go to the last audition for the director. And I was, again, devastated. I wanted this role. And what I was told was, the director said, how old is she? 16 and a half. Oh no, I will ruin her. Like, the director knew that they were a tough director, and they were like, I will ruin her as a person, as an artist. Like, I don't even want to see her. And they're like, she's a favorite. We love her. And he was like, I don't want to see her. Don't bring her. Again, devastated. As an adult, I think, and looking back in my life, at 16 and a half, had I gotten cast in a role on Broadway with a tough director, and being as you know me, I'm an enchanted child. I have awe and wonder for things. I still, with wisdom and experience, I still have a lot of naivety. I love the wonder of the world. I really believe I would have been chewed up and spit out. I may have become an addict. Like, I was very green at 16 and a half. I actually went to NYU at 16 and a half into the Tisch acting studio. And as much as I love New York and I wanted to be there, it was overwhelming for me. I was also young and queer and didn't know it, just found it out when I got there. There was I definitely recognize as an adult, oh, I don't know how I would have handled that. Maybe not well. It could have been really rough. His no was being protective. Literally, he's like dodging the bullet for me. That no was dodging a bullet. Hi, Tyler. Hi, Tyler Gunn. So as an adult, I have a very different point of view. Successes I've had with more experience, more wisdom, stronger boundaries, able to speak up for myself and communicate. Like, I'm ready in a way for things today that I never would have been then. Now, if it had happened, I would have learned life lessons differently. But I really recognize that what seemed very devastating at the time, also, there was some other stuff that went down around the Broadway stuff that was not in my control. But basically, that was it for me for Broadway. Like, I didn't audition for it. That no focused me in the world of pop and contemporary, which I was already singing. I'd already made my first demo recording, which was a record, like a real record with live strings. I was already pitching at 15. I was pitched to Motown. So that big no moved me more into contemporary, focusing on contemporary songwriting. And by 20, I was coaching. So ultimately, joyful where I am in life, 34-year coaching, traveling the world, training voice teachers. Was that no a bad thing? Was the no that directed my life, blew my sails towards a little bit of a different horizon, a bad thing? No. I love my life. I love my life experiences. I love being in the world of contemporary music. My clients are everything. I have musical theater clients. Mandy Gonzalez, whoa, the beast. I have coached her since she's about 18. Many artists on Broadway and contemporary, everything in contemporary, R&B, pop, rap. I love what I do. So was that no terrible? No, it moved me to the course of my life. It moved me into my purpose in life. All good. What is the flip side of rejection? I'm going to think about more no's as well in a minute. Actually, every artist that you love and know, and some of the artists listening right now can absolutely attest to this. Just was taking a walk with an artist here who was visiting in Paris this week. We took a walk and they said, oh, in a 5-year span, I was signed and dropped and signed and dropped, like through their course of their career, signed and dropped so many times by labels. Every artist that you know that is incredibly successful, artists that you know that are successful have been rejected by multiple record labels, rejected by management, rejected by publishers, have been signed and often dropped. Those are big no's. They feel big no's, right? You feel that. Does it mean they're not successful? No. The artists you know that are successful have been signed and dropped. Many, if not the majority. Alanis Morissette, huge success, had been rejected by 6 record labels before that. So everybody, because number one, because no one has a crystal ball. Nobody is like, oh, we know this person's going to be successful. So it's an alignment. It's someone's success comes after that no because they got the right team around them. It was the right moment in the ethers where the pulse of culture and what they had to say was everything, Fishing, you're asking about my lives. I go live every Wednesday, 1 o'clock Los Angeles time, 10 p.m. in Paris. Those are my lives. Also, be sure to join my mailing list. When you join my mailing list, you get offers and information. You get my creative blogs. You get emails. There's no spamming. You'll find out when someone's doing something, like a partner who might be doing something, or someone I really admire in the music industry is doing an event. I'll share their stuff. Please sign the mailing list, which is on my website. I'll put it in the comments. Because on socials, you don't see everything. That algorithm business. It also will be in the description of my YouTube channel, the how to subscribe. Angie, I'm glad that you're enjoying this. Yes, it is very common for someone to be rejected by a label, and it's how someone rises. I definitely agree, because you find out what you need and who you are, and you get more consistent about and consistent and confident about your own choices when you when someone says no to you and you're like, okay, it's not that, but this is me and this is what I want, including the artist saying no. The artist rejects things. You also will reject things, like, you know, artists get signed, you're putting out an album, you're working on marketing, and pretty soon, like, you're going down a lane, and often artists end up somewhere and they go, how did I get here? Like, the way my brand is being shared, the way I'm being marketed, this isn't really me. I don't really love this. That's you saying no, no to this persona, no to the vibe, no to the message. And that no, coming from you, the artist and creative, helps you steer the ship back into your integrity, your alignment. And if you don't know how to do that, it takes time. That's what someone like me helps you do. That's what my Compass course is about, is to help you get aligned with yourself, clear about yourself, so you are very clear about where your no is and where your yes is. And you can help people direct them into your vision so that what's being produced for you is more and more yeses. You saying no is really powerful. Here's another common thing that happens with artists. You find a producer you're working for, or working with, I should say, and it's not really working great. It doesn't feel like a trusted relationship. You don't feel like you're getting the best of you, but you'll hang on to them. You're afraid to say no, afraid to say, okay, I'm going to stop working with this person and find another producer. Why? Because it's kind of like when you're young and dating and you're like, oh, I got to cling to this person. I got to, like, hang on to this person. I don't want to be alone, or I'll never meet anybody else. Like, there are a lot of talented producers and creatives in this world. Hanging on to something that isn't working is not helping you. If it's not feeling good and it's not right, say no, reject it, move on, find the next person, do the work, put the work in to find the right person. Go to events, go listen to a lot of artists who's making the music you love, reach out to them, write better songs, or just write more songs. Write more songs so they get better. Amazing. Angie, you declared that you're making country music and you got signed to a pretty big festival. Yes, good for you. And with that, I'm going to say, what's the flip side of rejection? What is the flip side of hearing no? It's going where the doors are opening, going where the love is. Go where the love is. Now, it does, of course, need to be aligned with you, but let's look at what that means. You said, I'm doing country music. This feels right to me. And a festival said, I agree with you. We're welcoming you into our music festival. Go where the love is. You're saying, oh, I'm getting a big yes from the world here. Yes to country music. I got a gig in country music. I got a significant gig. Go where the love is. That's the world saying, yes, we approve, right? Gold stamp of approval. And I don't mean approval like, you know, I'm saying that's the world saying yes to you. Go where the love is. Hey, Karen, it's good to see you here. Go where the love is where do you keep getting opportunities? Where are the opportunities coming? Are they coming to be part of a band? If it's, oh, you play guitar and you sing harmonies and you keep getting invited to being bands, but your blinders are, I want to be a solo artist. I want to be a solo artist. I'm a solo artist. I want my own career. You're saying no to all the open doors. Go where the love is. Say yes. If you like the music you're going to make, or you like the gig, you like the people in the gig, you're going to get paid decently to go learn, grow, and have life experiences, then say yes. Say yes, because there's no straight path to your success. There's no straight path to your creative growth. It's I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that. If you are loving all those things, do them. Because blinders can, again, nothing I say here is like applies to everybody all the time. But listen to the wisdom, because there's times when you need to be so singularly focused, nothing distracts you from your goal and your purpose. Absolutely true. Anything that's distracting you from your soul's purpose, you don't need it. But blinders where you're ignoring the opportunities or ignoring good things, not distractions, then that's another issue. Because who's to say that after you take that gig and then an opportunity comes and then another one and then this, you're making your own record and that's the thing you'd like to do. And some people have always wanted to do a certain career, but it's not the career that opened up to them, or it's not where their greatest skill set is. Or it's Carolyn Mace, who I absolutely love as a healer, a philosopher, a leader. She's a theologian, like incredible, incredible. She always wanted to write fiction. She's never written fiction. She's never written fiction. She's written a lot of amazing books that are spiritual growth books, that are ways to evolve as a human, especially spiritually evolve as a human, emotional intelligence, spiritual growth. She's written a lot of books, just never the kind of books she thought she'd write. I was always pursuing a career as a recording artist. I have definitely recorded music, but it's coaching that became clear to me that this is where my passion is. And I love doing this. So, and then again, the surprises of that. Oh, I didn't know I was going to teach teachers for 12 years. I didn't know I was going to travel the world. Always wanted to travel. Oh, I'm going on tour. I've gone on tour as a coach. I've gone on tour as coaching teachers. See where I'm leading with this? So go where the love is. Where are the opportunities coming for you? It's the world telling you there's something that you do here that's magic and special, and we want you here. We need you here. You're going to thrive here. Because being in this band gains you your own life experiences, and that gave you time to write songs, and you learned how to play with a team, and you met an incredible tour manager when you were with that band, and maybe they help you when you want to do something else. And one artist I work with just came out of a long gig with a band, successfully singing with a band, and is doing their own project. And everything they learned touring with a successful band is how they're building their own project. And a lot of the people on their team came from the people that they met by working with that band. And people on the industry side around that band are like, yeah, we want to support you. How can we support you? Ooh, someone brought up something I love. Angie says, I feel like this conversation is so personal to me. I'm so very grateful. Oh, I love that. Angie, that's beautiful. This is the life of a creative. This is your life. We need these life lessons and some perspective, and like I said, emotional intelligence to handle the ups and downs of a career where you are an entrepreneur, where there's no net underneath you, right? And we trust our intuition, we trust our guidance, we believe in ourselves, and we follow our purpose. Janie says, I think of that as following the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland. Okay, I thought I had like no, I don't remember Alice in Wonderland, the film. I actually saw it as an adult because my wife really likes it. She's like, you've never seen it? It's like, I don't know if I have. But my memory of Alice in Wonderland is a poster on my wall when I was about 5 years old. And I made a shadow box with Alice in Wonderland characters. And one of my favorite phrases is go down the rabbit hole. Go down the rabbit hole. Get excited about something and just go follow it wherever it leads. And because of the internet, because of uh, uh, really because of the internet, like it can just like it's like synapses in your brain that like take you from here to there conceptually. Well, because of the internet, you can go down a rabbit hole and find yourself, oh my gosh, I started with this artist I really love, and did some exploring, which I found out they were inspired by this person. And then I started looking at their music and their videos and their live shows back at Woodstock. And then that led me to see this. That rabbit hole is fulfilling. That rabbit hole will inspire you. That rabbit hole will give you insight to yourself, your music, your sound, your costume. Like you just never know how much you can gain by going on the adventure of following your passions and your loves and the yeses. Go where the yeses are. And you're like, "Oh, look where I ended up," and go where the yeses are and look where I ended up. I really believe in the adventure of life. And a no is not a terrible thing. It can just be moving you into the lane where all your dreams and more come true. Gonna look at the comments. Oh, yes. I appreciate you that you want to join on the lives on Wednesdays and you're going to share with your friends right now that I'm live. Share this live with your friends right now. Tell them we're here. Um, I go live Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Los Angeles, LA time, 10 p.m. Paris time, which is where I am. There's another yes. I said yes, right? I said yes to my wife. I've always known that I love living in various places. I love adventure. And my wife said, I really want our kids to spend time in France and be close to my family and go to school in French and learn to be fluent in French. So I said, yes. Yes, let's do it. Yes. And the other reason, where's that yes again? Where's that yes again? That yes is when we said, okay, let's plan to move to France before next September, this 2025, before September of 2025, let's move to France so our kids can start school in September. And the minute we said, okay, we're going to start finding out what we need to do to make this move happen, my wife was offered a job and the job was, oh, but we need you right away. We moved in 3 weeks. Why? Because she got the yes. And we said, hey, this is just the world saying, go for it, giving us something to, a reason, a little, as opposed to let's move and then you find a job, or, oh, now you're going to spend 6 months looking for a job that will take us, that will be there when we want to move next year. Like, let's just do it. The answer is yes, let's go. We've said, yes, we want to do this. And the universe said, now. So we said, yes. And here we are. And I had a few yeses on my side as well. I had a few things that were indicating, oh, go for it. And since I've moved, and even before, my friends, even strangers, like just literally the words I kept getting from everybody was, oh, I'm so excited for you. This is going to be such a good move. Oh, this is so good for you. So good for you. The world just kept telling me, yes, yes, yes. Good for you. Good for you. Does that mean my life isn't challenging? Oh, no, definitely challenges. Will there be more? Oh, yes, right? But the world was saying, yes, the doors are opening. Here you go. Yes, yes. And we of course had challenges. Oh, goodness, we did. But go where the love is. Go where the yes doors are opening. Take no as a learning opportunity. Take no as a shift in direction, as a chance to assess yourself. What needs to be improved on? Where do I need to spend my time and energy to grow? Noah, welcome to the live. I'm glad you're here. Ben, friend with the orange hat. Ah, it's good to see you. Yes, I remember you from NAM. It's nice to see you. Go where the love is. And with that, I mean, again, life is full of challenges. All those challenges are there to help you, encourage you to grow, grow, grow. Like there's something in there I wanted to say. Oh, yeah. Anything of value is going to require your energy and effort. So there's going to be a yes, and then there's going to be challenges to overcome to get you there. There's going to be something like that you've got to, oh, you want that? Cool. In order to do that, you need this, 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 and this. And you're like, are you willing? Because the world's going to ask you, are you willing? Are you willing to put in the energy for this success or for this growth? Because you've got to have willingness to put in some work to level up. Ooh, Janny says, I will always choose the challenges on the adventure over the challenges from Stillwater. Love that. There are 3 stages to life: creation, maintenance, destruction. We want to live in creation all the time. Can I keep creating? Can I keep growing? Can I keep evolving? That keeps us 2 steps away from destruction. Keep growing, growing, growing. When you're in maintenance, status quo, keeping things the same, you're closer to destruction. Now, that you might be there for a minute. Then the challenge comes. Are you going to try to hang on to the status quo, or are you going to create and grow? This is what you want to be doing. Just keep bringing yourself back here. If you stay here too long, the universe will bring destruction. Oh, we're going to break something down here so that you have to go back to creation. These are just the cycles. So keep choosing the creation, and the challenge brings the creation. The yes brings the creation, the no, creation. Don't hang on to something, because nothing's meant to again, if we go back to force, if you got to force something to stay, if you got to control it, it takes effort for things to get easy. And we just, how can we get this to be easier? How can we flow more? How can I get into the yes mode? How can I get into the lane of creativity more and more and more? It's good. It's so good to see you here. Oh, it's really nice to see you. Bolivia in the house. I'm going to tell you another yes story. Oh, I'll tell you a no story that it took me a minute to learn a lesson from. Ooh. I was doing a project, and on day one, on day one, I experienced, how would I describe this? I experienced a huge, just constant no. No's, 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 literally, verbally, no, no, no. So what was the project? I was working as a vocal coach, vocal producer, and songwriter on an album project with an artist. And the producer on day one, when we were working on songwriting, and I, when you co-write, you bring up suggestions, you try things, I'm a contributor. I'm going to contribute ideas. And what I got all the time was no. The other person literally just kept telling me no. And at one point I asked them can we go talk in the other room? And I said, so I don't know if you're aware of this, but with every suggestion I'm making, your first response is no. And as a creative and as a songwriter and as a co-writer in the room, if you keep saying no, eventually you're just going to shut me down, and then I'm going to leave, because if I can't contribute, why am I here? And they said, oh, no, 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 no. I want your contribution. I want your creativity. I just need to try my things first. So this is someone who really wasn't open to collaborating. Today, if that were to happen again, that this one experience taught me a lot of lesson. Today, if that were to happen again, at that moment, that no would be, thank you, I'm done, goodbye. Like the job's over right here, because there is no job. There's no yes here at all. It's just you're bringing the wall. Oh, I forgot that. I forgot something I wanted with this stream today. See if I can fix it. I doubt it. Instead, what happened was I stayed on the job, and a lot of my ideas would come into play, but it was just an impossible, it wasn't fun. The ideas, like the artist had to work hard to get my ideas to be implemented. Or a week or two later, I would have an idea, the producer would say no, and a week or two later, the producer would say, oh, I have an idea. And they would say the idea that I came with a week or two before. And everyone in the room would be like, yeah, we heard you have that idea before. And eventually that 2 week later it just kept shrinking. So by the end, when I quit, by the end, I would have an idea. And while I said it, it came out my mouth. They would say, oh, I have an idea. And they would just repeat mine. Like the time lapse just shrank. This kind of struggle of no, of rejection of my creativity, rejection of my input, the rudeness of it, and is so beyond. And again, today, with more experience and wisdom and better boundaries, I just would walk away from that, because I would much rather work with somebody, and I have had incredible co-writing opportunities. A.R. Rahman, A.R. Rahman, one of the greatest producers and I mean, period, but all of Southeast Asia. I've had incredible co-writing and experiences working with him time and time again. I have a Grammy certificate from Slumdog Millionaire writing with him. My writing experiences with A.R. Rahman, who's an incredibly talented, very, very top successful producer, were beautiful, emotionally intelligent, spiritually intelligent, great experiences. Why should we have the other? Now, I had the other in order to learn. I had the other because I didn't have those solid boundaries in me yet. I didn't have the value of myself yet. And then I did. And my project that came right after, immediately when I left that project and I said, I'm done. And here's why. And, go F yourself, really. The next project I got was creatively one of my most favorite projects I've worked on with Josh Klausner, which was receiving all of my creativity. Literally, like, I'm open to your creativity. I'm open to your suggestions. I'm open to your ideas. Like, that was literally the next contrast. This was all no and close the door, slam the door, try to make me small and diminished. The next one was open doors, open doors. I welcome your input. It wasn't like he took everything I said and it was gold, but it was open and flowing and respectful and such a beautiful, beautiful experience, and one that was out of my comfort zone, one that was a challenge for me, one that made me level up by learning new things. I was music supervising a film. So I used skills I had and then was in an atmosphere that I'd never been in on set, working with the artists, as a vocal producer. It was a blast. This is like slam the door, no. This is slam the door, no. This is open the door, yes. Go where the love is. Go where the love is. Your life will be more fun. The challenges are easier to overcome when you have that empowerment and that support and that community of the people you're with. Like, just leave the wall. Hi. So, yeah. Let no's be lesson learners. Let no's be redirectors. Let no's help you learn and grow, improve your skills, all the things. And let yeses direct you into more of yourself, opportunities you don't even know are there yet, a career or a job or an experience that you just didn't even know you were going to have, and find out if you love it or you don't. Let it lead you to the next thing. It's incredible. But life is sweeter and curated. You get to curate your life by surrounding yourself with people you love, experiences you love. Say yes to the experiences you want. And you have the power to say no. And you have the power to say yes. This isn't all about what's coming at you, right? But there's a lot in life that is not in your control. But you have the power to say yes and no to things, which then also directs your life. Well, I'm going to give you a couple stories about that. Let me look at the comments. Yes, Janny, this reminds you of improv. Improv, the whole concept is you bring the wall to your own work. Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't, yeah, that's amazing. So improv conceptually is about say yes and. The idea of improv is that when someone brings an idea, you say yes and you contribute to it. That keeps the story going, right? If someone jumps into an improv and says, oh my gosh, look, the sky is purple, and you say, no, it's not. Well, you have no improv now. Where's the scene going, right? Where's the story going now? But if someone says, oh my gosh, the sky is purple, and you go, oh my gosh, alien ink gel. What's happening? Is someone drawing the sky? Or like, now you're going somewhere with the story. You said, oh my gosh, yes. Is it aliens? Yes, and it's a great way to live life. It's a powerful way to live life, is to say yes and. Say yes to something and then contribute to it. Say yes to something and then bring something to it. Add to it. Wonderful. So wait, there was a story in there I was going to say. You have the power to say yes and no. Okay. A story on that. An artist called me to get my opinion. And really, I think that, mentorship isn't, it's not about, my role is never to tell someone, do this. I know your life. You should do this, do what I say. Mm-mm. I think that my job is to help you see yourself and to empower you and to give guidance and inspiration, or not inspiration necessarily, but some wisdom. But in this case, the artist was calling me, knowing who I am, knowing, um, my point of view, so they know what they're coming, what I'm going to say back. But really, they just needed someone to say, yes, I agree with your opinion and choice for your life. And they just needed my validation or my support in their choice because they knew what they wanted to do. But let's say what happened. The artist calls me and says, I have this big opportunity. Now, you don't know that anything's a big opportunity, because even something that could feel like a big opportunity or seem like a big opportunity has all the makings of an opportunity on paper is not necessarily what it's going to be in real life. Some great opportunities. Carrie, the West End show in London that I was so excited about, it closed in 10 days. Now, did some of the people in that show still have great experiences from it and make great connections, and did good things come out of it for them? Quite possibly, yes. I would think that that happened for a number of people. But this great opportunity lasted 10 days. So someone else who didn't get in that show and maybe got in another show that ran for 2 years, or maybe they went to summer stock and they had a whole summer of gigs, right? You're like, oh, but the big show didn't last. So it isn't necessarily the right thing. So this big opportunity on paper, the artist said, they want me to play this role. It's a TV show with music, and it could really be my break. That's that. Now, why they were considering saying yes to this is because it could be their big break. And I'm like, okay, where's your hesitation here? What's the conflict? Well, I really don't like the music. They're like, I don't like the songs. I don't like the music at all. So I'm reluctant. And I said, well, here's the thing. If that show does really well, and you're saying that the chances of it doing really well is really high because of the people involved, the director, the producer, their history, their history of success in the TV world. If it goes really well, you're going to be singing those songs for years. You're going to be on the show singing them. You're going to be on TV singing them. You're going to go on a tour singing them. That TV show is going to do a tour. And then as an artist, if you go to make your own solo album, your fans are going to expect it to be the same genre, the same area. They're going to expect you to be like your character, right? So this is like poppy, light fun fare, and you like psychedelic rock. Your fans are not going to be ready for this. And you're going to be singing those songs for years. And the artist was like, oh yeah, no, I don't want to sing these songs. I don't even like the songs. So yeah, it doesn't matter that it's a quote big opportunity. It's not the opportunity that is going to take me where I want artistically, creatively. And so that no is a really powerful no, which led them to the next thing and the next thing and where they are now. For sure, we've all said yes to something or no to something that later in hindsight we go, oof, that was not a great choice. But that can often be in hindsight. The important thing to notice is, did you know when you made it that you were making the wrong choice? Because if that's the case, then your internal voice is speaking to you, and we just got to start listening to it. If you didn't know it, then you just didn't know it. And so can you learn from it? Can you see that there were signs, or can you see, no, that's just life. That's what happens. The life, that wasn't the best thing. Can we not regret it? Can we learn from it? Can we grow and then curate the next step in life? Because that's it. Let no's be growth, adjust, pivot, grow, level up, and let yeses and the open doors show you where the world is saying, your dreams are here. Your beautiful life and the things you want in life are here. Because somewhere between the vision of what you think you want your life to be and what it actually can be, is the magic. There are things that are going to happen in life that are, you can't imagine. I wouldn't even have imagined this for myself. That's going to happen again and again. I sure hope so, in a positive way. And if you allow yourself to put in the work, follow your purpose, be of service, grow emotionally, grow your skills, surround yourself with good people, you're going to be in the magic. Janie says that you've heard this advice from me and it revamped your approach to participate in work you do want to be engaged with for a long time. Yes. Someone once said to me, don't say yes to something that you don't want to repeat. This can be on a super personal level. This can be on a micro level to a macro level. So just let's say, for example, someone says, hey, can I borrow your car? And you're like, I don't really want to. And then you say yes to them. Chances are they're going to come back and say, can I borrow it again? And can I borrow it again? Can I borrow that? Can I borrow something else? Like you're saying yes to a behavior that will get repeated. So don't say yes to something if you don't want it repeated. Now, can you have boundaries and you say, yes, I can do that today, but I can't do it again? Will it be harder to say no another time? Possibly, but you can still say no. But that also goes to like music. Oh, don't say yes to working in a genre or a style of music or with a lyric that's like, this is not something I'd ever want to say. Don't say yes to that. And then, because what happens when that hits and then you go, oh my gosh, everyone wants me to repeat this success thing, this thing that had success, but I didn't really like it from the beginning. Don't do that to yourself. Social media. You can do a million things on social media. Don't do something that someone's like, oh, this will go viral. So you do it, but you don't feel good about doing it. Watch it go viral. And then you're asked and going to be asked to do that again and again. Now you're making a bunch of content that makes you feel shitty. So don't say yes to something that you wouldn't want to continue. Go where the love is, grow from the nose, follow your integrity and your inner vision. It's almost like self-sabotaging to say yes to the big but intuitively wrong opportunity. Sure. It's again, and I go back to integrity and alignment. Like inside of yourself your integrity. Don't bend your integrity for success. And in the end, that won't be successful for you. It'll lead to pain, suffering, discomfort, hating your career and life. Follow your integrity. Listen to the no's to learn and grow. A no doesn't mean you're done. It means something needs to shift. It's not the right time. There's a lot of possibilities. Learn from it, grow from it, see what you need to adjust. And the yeses, go where those open doors are. Go where those open doors are. All right. I want to thank you all for joining my live. I thank you for commenting and having a conversation. I love it. If there are topics you want me to cover, put them in the comments or DM me. I go live every Wednesday. You can see long forms of my past lives on my YouTube channel. Go subscribe to it, please. The full length is on my YouTube channel of past lives. So there's lots of topics there from vocal technique and career stuff. And someone's asking me about, so join the mailing list because you'll get lots of offers and information. We don't spam you. You get creative blogs and storytelling and personal experiences and good things like that. And otherwise, reach out if you got questions. I do one-on-one coaching and I have online programs. If you love what I've got to offer, I really do recommend checking out my online programs, which are the things that I teach one-on-one to pro and emerging artists in a form that is really available with pre-recorded and a big fat workbook and all good stuff. Janny, thanks for joining me. Thanks for your comments. Roman, good to see you here. I really appreciate you all. Iskra, you're a beautiful human being. Reach out, send me an email, DM me. I would love to talk with you. I'm based in Paris now. We're neighbors. Thanks for joining me, everybody. And go check out the blog on my website, subscribe to my Substack, all the things. But start with my mailing list. That's a good way to go. I'll see you next week.